brought your loud voices with you? Because I need all the help I could get, all right? Here's your test. Fortune fair, mirror fair, gone insane by now. Rings on fingers green, others starred and eyes are green. Either know that crowd, brother, know it, she is of honor. Like twisted lines that grow, hot and swallowed mansion soul. Dim the lights of an already faded prima donna. Fortune fair, mirror fair, gone insane. Fortune fair. Cigarettes, up till it's our time for this. While the Hollywood sun sets behind your back, can the band play on? Hey, just listen and play my song. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black. Fortune fair, mirror fair, gone insane. Fortune fair.
seriously implore you to stop consuming goy slop, to think and question about these supposed phenomenons that have been pushed to the forefront by the zeitgeist control machine. You better wise the fuck up, because some of these stories, these occurrences, these events that have taken place in front of our very eyes might be proven to be the inverse. I'm also concerned, and I'm afraid that some of these supposed truths are actually lies. Folks, I say unto you, get ready for the big anticlimax. My name is MrShowTym, and you are watching Showcast. So, what is on the menu today? Well, Bob's your uncle. The whole Jeffrey Epstein files fiasco has resurfaced in the headline news once again. Only this time, President Trump has acquiesced and agreed to finally sign the release of the supposed Epstein files. Now, if you remember, was it early this year? We were, how the Americans call, duped, hoodwinked, and bamboozled into thinking that they're actually going to release the Epstein files, only to find out that they invited a bunch of no-name, nobody influencers with binders in their hands in front of the White House, to release them to the public with the headline Phase 1. Keep that in mind. Phase 1, with the binders in their hands, yay! Only to find out that it's information that is already on the public domain, internet domains. Well, I believe it's safe to assume that this they're about to release Phase 2. And if you think, well, what do you think? Do you think they're gonna release something of substance? Don't be surprised if it isn't, if that's not the case. Folks, I've made predictions before, okay? I have said that Jeffrey Epstein is not guilty of any of these crimes that he's been alleged and or convicted of. Now, I understand the knee-jerk reaction in typical normie fashion that you obviously can't help yourself with. Oh my goodness, but MrShowTym, what do you mean? Jeffrey Epstein is a sick man. He's a PDF file. He got convicted, remember? Okay, jackass. Just because someone is convicted of a crime, it doesn't mean that they actually really committed those crimes. The Agent Smiths run everything, including, of course, the proverbial zeitgeist control machine, the media. And I've also highlighted that a lot of the people, well, not necessarily our establishment leaders, but the people that are in charge and who run our establishment leaders, the so-called shadow government figures, Agent Smiths, Jews, in other words, okay? Yeah, these people stem from these pagan cults that specialize in the art of theater, okay? This is why America is so talented. America is talented in the production of movies, films, and whatnot. Okay, music, theater, all that. Politics is obviously been exposed to be the same. Charlemagne the God said himself. Remember when one of the shows late last year, I think, when was it early this year? I can't remember. When President Trump was sitting alongside Barack Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral, and they were laughing, ha-ha, and kikiing alongside each other. Whereas you'd think that these two opposing government officials from opposing parties would hate each other. Now, you can argue that there should be civility and decorum amongst politicians, because otherwise you end up in bloodshed and chaos. That is also understandable. I understand that point. But at the same time, really? Just like that? Just imagine, remember The Undertaker's rival in WWE, The Undertaker's rival against Dave Bautista. Imagine they were having a little squabble, and only to see them backstage sharing drinks and beers with each other, laughing. It would ruin the whole aura, the whole mystique of the performative theater that is at play. Jeffrey Epstein couldn't have committed those crimes. Right? With that being said, Jeffrey Epstein couldn't have committed those crimes, despite all the supposed evidence that they plaster all over our faces in the mainstream media news and amongst these bought and paid for influencers that are puppets for the Agent Smiths. Tim Pool, and amongst others that would probably shock you. Okay? I don't need to mention them. You figure that out. You know why? Because the surprise is always better than the tell. Because if I sit here and name, of which some of them are already nominated, but I'll let you figure that out the rest. If you're watching me for the first time, yeah, that's for you. I'll let you figure that one out. Folks, think about this. There are two camps of people who are pining for the release of the Epstein files. There's the regular average normie who works a 9-to-5 job, who is of no consequence whatsoever, who's drowning in debt, but is busy yelling, shouting from the rooftops of the internet, hashtag release the Epstein files. What are you going to do about it? What good does it serve you for the Epstein files to be released? Hey? Ask yourself. Why should highly powerful people, politicians, powerful people, be concerned about telling you the truth? What's so special about you? Seriously. I'm not even trying to insult you. Please just ask yourself, what is so special about you? For these multi-millionaires, these billionaires, heck, sometimes even these trillionaires such as Elon Musk. Oh yes, congratulations to Elon Musk for being the world's first trillionaire. Yeah. That fake steak tastes really delicious, doesn't it, Elon Musk? Just like Cypher. Elon Musk believes ignorance is bliss. Okay? Just enjoy that juicy steak, make a deal with the Agent Smiths, and they also matrix glitch trillions of dollars in your bank account. Like that. The Agent Smiths can grant you anything, folks. Anything. Why? Because the Antichrists, they run the world. Okay? So, ask yourself, why should high-powered people bother with the whims of peasants such as yourself. Okay? And then there's the other camp of people. So, some of us who have at least an average level IQ, who could cause some sort of disturbance in the force, a glitch in the matrix, in other words. See, that's who the Agent Smiths are concerned about. I want you to think about this. Andrew Tate. Okay, first, before I want to draw comparisons to Andrew Tate. There is a journalist who had someone like his 15 minutes of fame in exposing the Operation Mass Surveillance operation that the US government was planning. And alongside Edward Snowden, who used to work for the, what's it called? The NSA, National Security Agency, the CIA, okay? What happened to them? Do you see Edward Snowden doing laps, doing podcasts here and there, and enjoying his moments of fame and glory, and popularity? No, he fled. Sure, he might have done an interview or two since then, but how long has it been? Since the year 2013. How long has it been, really? 12 years? Julian Assange also fled. And upon his exile, Julian Assange succumbed to an unfortunate, albeit not complete, demise when he got arrested in Belmarsh for 12 years. In a Belmarsh prison, European prison, third world European country prison. Was he doing laps, doing podcasts unlike Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate? No. They framed him for an alleged, supposed rape allegation over a female that doesn't exist. Now, you want to draw the same comparison with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is supposedly going through the same thing. The only difference is, with Andrew Tate, it's taking long. It's taking a long time to put him away. God forbid, for his sake. They're taking quite their time, quite a long time to put him away. As with Julian Assange, they just put him away immediately. Ask yourself why. Why is Andrew Tate been allowed to have his 15 minutes of fame and popularity, whereas Julian Assange and Edward Snowden did not? Now, please spare me the whole, but Andrew Tate has Bugattis and stop. If they really want to put someone away, that's exactly what they do. Who's to say that Andrew Tate is not in on it, is not a measly pawn for their agenda that they want to push through? You know, galvanize the normies, create fake martyrs, because as I've talked about before, as I've said before, the Agent Smiths are masters of creating fake opposition. Now, whether or not Andrew Tate is fake opposition or not, that remains to be proven. I'm not accusing him to be fake opposition. I'm also saying, but please, consider the possibility that he might be. I hope he's not, but he might be. At least consider the possibility. Take into consideration these little signs, these subtle differences Why is it taking so long? Now you may argue that the Agent Smiths, they're going to take their sweet time in teaching Andrew Tate a lesson. Maybe he really is a champion for the people, a champion of free speech, or as we South Africans call it, freedom of speech. You see? Small differences. Same thing. Freedom of speech. He might be a champion of freedom of speech, and they just want to kill him softly, kill him slowly, death by 1,000 cuts, until he finally taps out. And then they can say, you see, perhaps that is also a possibility. It could also be true that maybe Andrew Tate, like I said before, he could be a pawn by the Agent Smiths to teach everyone else a lesson, to scare everyone. When they make him tap out, figuratively. Okay? By the time they eventually bag him. Or he is in on it. He is part of the plan. Of which I hope that's not the case. Folks, if you're an Andrew Tate fan, please understand me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Andrew Tate is not part of the plan. I hope he's not in on it. But time will tell. Eventually. Time will tell. So the difference between I find rather damning similarities. No, hold on. Between Andrew Tate and Jeffrey Epstein. None the way that you think. These two people, these two gentlemen, they might be two sides of the same coin. What coin are we talking about? Fake opposition. Epstein, wherever he may be currently, wherever he's hiding, okay? Whoever is hiding, accused of sexual misconduct, got supposedly self-deleted, or he got deleted in prison, and the media painted him as a bad guy, okay, a villain. That is what was pushed by the mainstream media. Now, with Andrew Tate, what was being pushed by the mainstream media? The fact that he's they said that, he's a bad guy, but from the people, he's supposedly a good guy. At least that's what they want us to believe. So that when they bag him, so my point here is Jeffrey Epstein, not just in the eyes of the mainstream media, but also public perception, in the court of public opinion. The goy, the normies, view Jeffrey Epstein as a villain because it was straightforward, PDF rapist, bad guy. Notice Jeffrey Epstein never appealed his conviction. He never appealed his conviction. Why didn't he? And on the other hand, we have Andrew Tate, a champion and a martyr, even though still alive, a champion of freedom of speech amongst the masculine youth. And if they put him away, it might cause civil unrest. The Agent Smiths have an incentive to drum up emotions, okay? To suck in your energy. Because all of us, folks, we are in our matrix pods And the Sentinels seek to suck in our energy via our emotions, spiritual energy, figuratively, symbolically. So what they really want, the purpose of these whole portrayals, of this whole kayfabe, is to hit us with the big anticlimax. What? Jeffrey Epstein is actually innocent? Oh my goodness, that would be controversial, wouldn't it? After all that build-up, because people expect Jeffrey Epstein to be guilty, only to find out for him to be innocent. Andrew Tate. What? Andrew Tate is actually guilty? Oh my goodness, that would be controversial. Anticlimax. Because after all that build-up, after all those podcast interviews, people start to believe Andrew Tate. Oh no, this is a witch hunt by the government, by the system, by the matrix. Only to find out that guilty. What if? What if? I'm not saying Andrew Tate is guilty. What if? Ask yourself. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying, ask yourself, what if? What then? The world loses their minds. Thus, us generating emotional, spiritual energy for the Sentinels to suck up and enjoy. Yes, the Amins enjoy it. Am I getting through to you yet? You follow, right? Do you follow? Am I making sense yet? So really ask yourself, there's a reason why they're taking so long. They prolonged this whole wild, fake goose chase of the Epstein files, which really, for truly, I've already told you, it's empty. There's nothing in the Epstein files. They're taking so long with the whole Andrew Tate case and trial for them to restart. They're just dragging this along for a reason. Because if Andrew Tate's really, because you know what they could have done with Andrew Tate is the same thing, like I said, with what they did with Julian Assange. Just bag him. Just lock him away, throw the key away. Done. Why not? Why not just put Andrew Tate away and just throw away the key and forget about him? Is it possible that Andrew Tate is a useful pawn of the system to build up a climax, and then when it gets to a certain point, anticlimax? Drive people crazy. That's what the Agent Smiths want. Does it make sense yet? I can only imagine how much credibility could I earn when it comes out that, yeah, I was right. The great Nostradamus predicted correctly. The Epstein files are empty. I hope Andrew Tate is not guilty. But what if? I already strongly believe that as bad as a person Jeffrey Epstein might be, not because of his crimes, alleged crimes, but you would have to be a sadistic person to portray such a narrative in the first place. Okay? Also, speaking of, also in other news, we, South Africa, got to host the G20 summit, where world leaders arrived. We hosted world leaders, and they are in talks and in agreements to invest in South Africa, pouring in millions of pounds, millions of dollars, millions of rands in boosting South Africa's economy, infrastructure development, and whatnot. Plus, to add on, the soon to be homecoming return of Elon Musk by the year 2030 to unleash his T1000 Terminator cyborgs and his Tesla Cybertrucks in South Africa, of which at first the normies shall rejoice because wow, Tesla Cybertrucks, yay! And then only to realize that it was a trap. Folks, anything and everything that is pushed and promoted by our establishment leaders, it's never to your benefit. At least not ultimately. It may be at first, at face value, seemingly. Yeah, that's how they hook you in. That's how they trap you. Okay? A bear trap is glazed with honey, sweet honey, the nectar, to attract the bees, only for the bees to get stuck. Or the bear, you get the idea. So yeah, future's dark. Okay? Speaking of, folks, all these famous big name influencers, yeah, they just continue feeding you goy slop. Candace Owens has nothing further to talk about other than milking the death of her supposed friend, Charlie Kirk. What kind of a friend does that? Just grifts off of your death and monetizing it. Isn't there anything else to talk about? What would Candace Owens be talking about if Charlie Kirk was still alive? I wonder. Not much. Her ongoing case lawsuits with Brigitte Macron, maybe. Maybe she'll be milking that. But you can only milk something for so long. And to add on, her continuous skyrocket of subscribers is rather that much suspicious for someone that is butting heads with Agent Smiths. Why isn't she banned? Why is she allowed to exist on YouTube? Okay? Ask yourself. When President Donald Trump was ordered by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to spew false narratives about a fake white genocide in South Africa, who believes that? Only to find out that all those pictures that President Trump showed, death, those pictures were nowhere near in South Africa. That massacre took place in Congo, the country of Congo. But they tried. I mean, even their efforts were weak. Right from the beginning. They were able to bribe 59 white South Africans, 59 treasonous white South Africans, to comment in the comment section of videos and posts and articles. I can confirm. I'm a South African. I can confirm. There's a genocide. We're dying over here. Oh, shut up. You treasonous traitor. I hope you can stay over there in America in that sinking ship. With all due respect to regular Americans, but yeah. Lady Liberty is burning. They tried, folks. We got to host the G20 summit and they hated. Because more power for us. We are Africa's only first world country. And they're jealous. But that's all I have to say for now. If you're watching this far, thank you so much for watching. And remember, Matrix has you. Follow the white rabbits and don't fall for the psyops. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.